Hello and welcome in to a new episode of College Football on Air. It's so exciting. Well, I am normally excited, not overly excited at all. But I have to talk really quickly about the new model we're using. We're doing a 2-show-a-week system, so we don't have overloaded hour-and-a-half shows. So we're gonna have a recap early in the week, preview late in the week. You can go listen to our recap. It was on Wednesday, and I believe it was one of the last shows. So go to National Sports on Spreaker, go find the page, and go look at that show. Alright, just the normal stuff I open up with every time. Go find me at Carl_PM on Twitter. That's Carl with a K, not a C. Just don't screw it up. Go find College Football on Air on Facebook, as well as National Sports on Facebook. Actually, I just realized something. Did I not say that I am Carl Mogline? I don't think I did. But I'm Carl Mogline, by the way. If you don't listen to the show regularly, you should listen to the show regularly because it's amazing. But that is, again, not the point. I need to stop straying from the point. A lot. Alrighty then. Moving slowly on. That's our social stuff. And this brings us to welcoming in our favorite guest in the world. The man, the legend. He lives in LA. He likes a lot of LA sports, and then he's a Packers fan. He does sing in the shower, we know that. He's supportive of Jacksonville, and he also almost could have been sitting 2 rows from courtside. He is Jake Laker.
No, I'm not going to get the studio audience clapping effect.
Hi, and welcome to College Football.
No, you're not. And also, okay, what just played is different. Fine. Okay, I've been playing with Spreaker, and they have sound effects, which are amusing. So, this is for Jake.
No, really, you all are too kind.
No, wait. Then this is for me. Wait. Do you get the point? Continuing our thing, I want to say something about College Football on Air. College Football on Air. Decoding the code that is college football.
I thought we agreed that we are going to be decoding the computer system that is the mothership of all computers and sports, the BCS. But whatever, it's not my show, it's Carl's. I'm just here along for the ride. And I enjoy it, and you should too.
Alright, before we go...
Spell his name with C when you follow him on Twitter. It'll be fantastic. I'll pay you money. Before we start, I get to talk about my show this evening too. Rookies Roundup, it's a pretty cool show. Carl, because we've become so close now, I'm happy to make this announcement on your show. Rookies Roundup is going to begin its international tour for the next month. I'm technically going international. For the next 4 weeks, we will be in LA, followed by Green Bay, followed by Boston, followed by Mexico. So technically it's an international tour. We will be all over the world, and by world I mean North America.
And by North America, he means south of Green Bay.
No, I'll be in Green Bay. Green Bay is not south of Green Bay.
He's not going to Canada, therefore he's not all over North America.
Okay, Rookies Roundup is the Facebook page. You should check that out and like it. We have over 1,000 views. Our ratings really took a hit this week.
Because I wasn't there.
No, the week before no offense. We only have 57 views, so we can do better than that. So, yeah, you should probably check our page out and like it up.
And they have a show tomorrow, and I should be part of that tomorrow.
Oh, yes, we will be here tomorrow on Saturday night after I return from the UCLA Colorado game.
Wait, but isn't that a 7? Oh, gee, that's gonna be a late
4:30 game.
Oh, it's a 4:30 game. You're fine. So 3-hour game. That's 7:30. An hour.
You around 9 probably.
Yeah, 9ish.
That normally means 9:30. One more thing. He did mention that I'm from LA. This is true. Today wasn't the greatest day for LA. We're lucky that it wasn't worse, but there was shooting at LAX today. So I'm just very happy that everyone here is safe, except for that one TSA agent who passed away. Very sad story, but yeah, we gotta keep being resilient. So shout out to my great city of Los Angeles and their fantastic self-aware airport billboards. Do you know that we are undergoing construction right now, and all the billboards say, "Relax, it's LA, everything gets a facelift."
Nice. That's a very a good order. Billboard. On this note, this is not a political show, but I want to make one short statement, and this is just in response to what was on Twitter about the people saying this never would have happened if we're holding these gun control laws. They were blaming gun control laws for this. I find that ridiculous, and I fully support a ban on semi-automatic rifles. Now we can move on.
No,
Not a full ban, but like a
automatic rifle. You're really cool, and you can ignore what he said. But yeah, to those of you who are sane, please support gun control laws, because you never know what can happen next. We don't need.
Yeah. In other news, here at Rookies Roundup. I'm not Rookies Roundup. College Football on Air. College Football on Air and Rookies Roundup are almost the same show.
No.
College Football on Air is just a little bit better.
No, we have a less bias. We don't go crazy about the Ducks and whatnot.
Okay, we're gonna stop ragging on each other's shows, and yeah. So we're gonna move on to college football. It's crazy. As I said last show, we talked about last week. Therefore, we can talk about this week. Who's excited? This guy. Alrighty then. We are going to talk about next week's game. It's not the greatest slate in the world, to understate it, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna talk about them anyway because we care about life. And then later, which is gonna be probably more exciting, we're gonna talk about the wondrous thing that is the fact that, did you know? Yeah, basically we're gonna talk about all the conferences, and I'm gonna include the Sun Belt. Congratulations to them. Just a quick 30 seconds of Sun Belt. Alright, we're gonna talk first off. Number 25, Notre Dame, who I hate being ranked, is playing Navy, 4-3. Go midshipmen. My uncle went to the academy, but Notre Dame will probably win, as much as it pains me to say that. Jake.
Would you like my remarks on this?
Yeah, you always remark on things.
Well, I'm sorry, these days you're not exactly a fan of my opinion, whether or not it's the correct one.
Keyword,
yeah.
not the correct one.
Do I not say anything if I disagree with you and you hit everything on the head? Because let's face it, I'm going to be rooting for Navy. How about this? Shout out to everyone in uniform out there. Thank you for protecting this country. But other than that, I guess we have a weakness, leprechauns, apparently. So, yeah, point to Notre Dame.
Alright, I don't even... Wisconsin's playing Iowa. I almost want to pick Iowa, but they won't win.
So disrespectful.
I like Iowa. They went punch for punch with Notre Dame. I'm not with Notre Dame, with Ohio State, sorry. Next game, 21 Michigan playing 22 Michigan State. A battle of low-ranked teams from Michigan who were supposed to have better seasons than this and are both one-loss. So yeah, I think Michigan State wins this.
What? No. You need a disagreement buzzer because you're gonna be putting that off about every 60 seconds. You're so wrong on this one, Carl. I'm sorry.
Michigan State. All right, Michigan State's gonna win this. I think Michigan State's gonna take the Michigan State will win the Legends. That's gonna happen. Michigan State is winning the Legends. Just accept it. We'll go over this later, but you think Michigan's gonna win. Tell me why.
Let me tell you why. I like Michigan for so many reasons. First of all, I feel like they've done a better job of proving themselves this year, for starters.
Yep, that game against Akron really showed a lot of character.
No, Akron has given a lot of strong teams a run for their money. These are both teams looking to continue to march toward Ohio State. Yes, it is tough to win in Lansing, but I think the boys from Ann Arbor can pull it off because I'm looking at this team and I have a good feeling about them. I know it's not the greatest reason in the world, but let's take a look. I'm looking at the SB Nation right now, and for Ohio State fans, apparently Michigan State is going to win according to them. Well, I disagree with them, and I must have pulled up the wrong article. Listen.
He did. Alright, and that ends his time, because he's talking
That's
to
it?
us.
Oh, I don't get to redeem myself?
Nope, because you screwed up and brought up the wrong article. Next, UCLA is going to crush Colorado. That's
Don't
about
jinx it.
I knocked on wood. Alright. On ESPN 3, number 17, Northern Illinois, playing 1-7, UMass, the Minutemen are gonna be done in probably 15 minutes.
Jordan Lynch, listen, I still love him.
Hashtag Lynch for Heisman. Well, okay. Hashtag Lynch for Heisman ceremony in New York, even though he's gonna lose to Mariota and Winston.
Hashtag that hashtag was longer than 140 characters.
Hashtag deal with it.
Hashtag no.
Hashtag we're gonna stop the hashtags now. Alright. Number 16, Fresno State, 7-0, playing 3-5 Nevada. Nevada has previously played spoilers to teams such as Boise State that wanted to be a BCS buster. This will not be an issue. Nevada is not nearly the team they were when they had Colin Kaepernick leading the way, and Fresno State will improve to 8-0.
Yep, the raisins will prevail.
Now we have a very interesting matchup as 6-1 Oklahoma State plays 15 Texas Tech. Texas Tech coming off the loss to Oklahoma, while Oklahoma State just a couple of weeks ago lost to West Virginia. I believe that Texas Tech will rebound and win this game, but this is really a game that could be up for grabs. I see this as a close game. Jake, your opinion?
Normally it is my theory to pick teams that are coming off of a loss, which is why this is such a conflicting pick for me, because I want to go with my gut, but I also want to go with what history has told us. I'm still not extremely impressed with what Texas Tech has done. Yes, I know they've done well and all, and they've only lost a game, but still, like, the games I've seen them play, I'm not great. And if you look at history, Oklahoma State has dominated this rivalry, so you know what? I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Alright, so we disagree on this one. I guess that will be something to bring up. Next, I don't even know what day we're doing the show. Next, it's probably Monday. Maybe Tuesday. Here's the deal next week. Oregon and Stanford and Baylor and Oklahoma both play Thursday. So we've got a busy Thursday. So I'm thinking a show Wednesday, recap Monday, but depending on Jake's schedule and my schedule, that could change. So don't trust us.
That's the spirit.
It is. Alright, next, South Carolina 14 is playing Mississippi State. Yeah, don't see a lot of issues for South Carolina here.
Nope.
Then we got 1-6 UTEP playing 6-2 Texas A&M. I hope I don't need to talk about that one.
Please, the Miners would be my heroes if that mascot just took a pickaxe straight to Johnny Manziel's head.
And we continue to admire Jake's hatred of that Johnny Manziel.
Whoever UTEP's mascot is would be the Nazir Muhammad. Oh my goodness. Listen, this is a college football show, I know, but I have to say this because it is worth mentioning.
Is it about the Lakers?
No, it is not about the Lakers.
Alright, I'll allow it.
Ouch. What's this supposed to mean? How about Paul Pierce in his Barclays Center debut? It turns out, sometimes it's not a good thing to spend training camp in the Bahamas and spend half of your off seasons filming Samsung Galaxy S4 commercials. The Brooklyn Nets come through with a statement win over the Miami Heat, 101-100 in the Barclays Center, and as minority owner Jay-Z would say, praise Hoga.
Yeah, you are out, which means it's my turn to be in. 7-1 Auburn playing 3-5 Arkansas. Auburn should have no issue with this one. Then you've got another SEC matchup. 9 Missouri, who just came off that tough loss to South Carolina, a game they really should have won, up 17 going into the fourth quarter. Connor Shaw coming in. I'm supremely disappointed with this Missouri team, but I do think they can beat Tennessee.
Where's this game?
The game is in Missouri.
Fine. I don't want to pick with the Mansell wannabe Maddie Mock, but I will.
Oh boy. See, Jake, some people have daddy issues. Jake has Manzelli issues.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm sorry, I don't like people.
Everything goes back to Manziel with you.
Not everything goes back to Mansell. He is Mansell's long lost brother. I'm convinced.
Whatever, Jake. We're gonna move on. Alright, 8 Clemson playing 2-6 Virginia. That should not be this should not be pretty. Then you got Ohio State 8-0 playing 1-6 Purdue. Do I need to comment? I think no. Alright, so the top 2 teams in the nation, Alabama and Oregon, are off this week, which means we get to talk about Miami and Florida State now. 7 Miami, 3 Florida State, yet the point spread is still somehow 21 points.
What is this? That is disrespectful. I'm pulling up the Stephen A. Smith video, and there is nothing you can do to stop me. Because you know what this is, Carl? I'm gonna say that until my timing is done. But seriously, do you know what this is?
I do know what you're about to say. I'm just not going to say it for your own dream.
Okay.
Alright, let's go. This
Do you know what this is? I know LeBron James. There's LeBron James. Here you are again being so disrespectful. There is no reason to be so disrespectful, Las Vegas odds. Come on. Listen, Florida State won this game hands down. But this is a top 10 matchup between 2 teams who are undefeated. I'm sorry. Just because a team's got a smaller number than the other does not mean you need such a big point spread. That is shameful, Vegas. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Alright, so I told you about the standings thing, but before I go to that, I'm going to go to something, and this is not a segment, this is just me laughing at things. I was going through the National Sports Archive recently, looking at old shows we've done, and looking at some of the really old stuff from over a year ago. Well, I happened to run into the first college football on air that was ever recorded by myself, and I thought I'd give you a trip down memory lane. Shall we look at that, and we will rewind to the past. And here we go.
I'm your host, Carl Mogline. Here.
This is not exactly the best quality. Also,
Welcome to college football on air.
I should note, before I keep talking over myself, that this was a very long time ago. One of my first shows on Spreaker. I just came out of sports broadcasting here for the first time. I thought I was okay. And then, I hadn't hit puberty at all yet, so this is really funny sounding.
Hi, and welcome to college football on air. I'm your host, Carl Mogline. Here today on college football on air, we're going to be talking about last week's games, the new AP Top 25, my personal Top 5 teams in.
Isn't that lovely? Little Carl.
What I have to say.
What do you have to say, Jake?
No, I'm not going to. I'm sorry. I'm going to get carried away with the perfect place of songs for this. But, yeah.
Wasn't I cute when I was... That was when I was still like 13 when I did that. That was me when I was 13. I don't sound like a 13-year-old. I sound like an 11-year-old. I should note, because I don't bring this up ever, I am currently 14. My birthday's in 24 days. I'm pretty sure on my birthday I'm just going to do a show just so I can sing happy birthday to myself.
You would do that. That's so egotistical. Even Manziel would frown upon that.
Wow.
Because, he would probably do it on the national level.
Alright, we're going to move into the standings portion of this. We're going to go down basically alphabetically-ish. First, the American Athletic Conference, formerly known as the Big East. Currently, 4-0 in conference. Houston is on top. UCF 3-0 in conference. Right behind them, and Louisville is 3-1. I think UCF pulls this out. And I want to tell you why. They own the tiebreaker over Louisville, which means they have one game to hold basically in hand. Then they have Houston this week. Next week. Once they if they win against Houston, they're gonna have an even bigger lead. If they don't beat Houston, they need Houston to lose. But I think they're beating Houston. Therefore, I think they will end up winning this conference. Only because they have that tiebreaker over Louisville. I think they'll probably end up dropping another game somewhere down the road.
I
Jake?
don't know. UCF has certainly asserted their dominance, and I expect that to continue. I'm going with the Knights at Bright House Network Stadium.
Okay, now we move to the ACC, a much harder conference. Actually, not that much harder to predict. Here's the thing. Miami is 3-0 in conference in the Coastal Division, and they are, of course, going into that game with Florida State. Then you have Virginia Tech with the team that's most likely to pass them if they do at 3-1 in conference. Miami and Virginia Tech play not this week, but next week. That could determine the Coastal Division. And it most likely will.
For that is Virginia Tech.
I really need to see how Miami plays against a good team because we have yet to see them play a team like Florida State. And I think if they even if that game is close, I feel like they have a chance. But if that game goes like I think it will, with a couple scores, pretty dominant by Florida State, I gotta go with Virginia Tech next week. That was an interesting starter. And then you got the Atlantic. Florida State's 5-0, Clemson's 5-1, and then the rest of the conference just kind of is in a disaster state. So I really have to go with the Atlantic in the Atlantic Coast Conference with Florida State because they've already beat Clemson, so they shouldn't have a lot of issues after that.
Oh yeah, Seminoles are going all the way to the national championship.
All right, then we have a very interesting conference in the Big 12. Baylor is 4-0 in conference, but kind of surprisingly, if you didn't know this, Texas is 4-0 in conference.
Really?
Yeah, it's really odd. Texas is 4-0, and Oklahoma and Texas Tech are both 4-1. So those teams can all make a run. Oklahoma State maybe, because they're 3-1. But I gotta just look at the disparity in this conference. They have Baylor and Texas with no conference losses. Then they have 3 one-loss teams. Then you go down, and you have no more teams with a record at 500 or better, including Iowa State and Kansas, who are combined 3-11. This conference is kind of ripped to shreds. Nobody else has more than one conference win other than those teams. It's just the disparity in this conference is a little weak. Baylor, I think, takes this. I also am picking Baylor next week against Oklahoma. I think Baylor has a serious chance of running the table, but at least they'll beat Texas and have that game in hand.
Baylor can absolutely make things very interesting.
But if Baylor does not win this, Oklahoma will, because they're only one game back, and Texas will lose to Baylor, causing a tiebreaker to happen. And I don't know what tiebreaker is. I pick Baylor, Oklahoma as my second team in that. Then you go to the Big 10, a conference. I need to slow down. Keyword streamline. Alright, Big 10 standings. First off, the Legends Conference. You have Michigan State at 4-0 on top of that in conference. Then 2 one-loss teams, Michigan and Nebraska. Nebraska, of course, had a very disappointing loss to Minnesota. And I look at Nebraska, it's kind of the out of it. They did not look at all impressive. Michigan and Michigan State, between those two, I think Michigan State pulls out this conference. Then you look to the Big 10. Here's what I think with Ohio State. Ohio State is a very interesting team. I've made a lot of opinions known about them. I picked them to lose, I believe, 3 different times this season. I didn't pick them to lose 3 times this season. I picked them to lose twice this season against Wisconsin and Northwestern. I picked against them. I also said within 16 points against Cal. They were within 18, so shut up, Jake. Alright, then you got, when you're looking at this Ohio State team, I have a new prediction for them. I think they run the table the rest of the season, and then Michigan State beats them in the Big 10 championship game. That is my call.
You have Ohio State not even winning the Big 10 championship.
I think they make it, but they lose it.
I'd be very, very excited for that matchup, but I would definitely take Ohio State.
But then in the Legends, you have Michigan beating Michigan State. Does that mean you have Michigan winning the conference, or do you still see Michigan State topping that?
Well, Ohio State's winning the whole conference.
No, that's leaders. I'm saying Legends. Sorry, division. Legends division.
Michigan.
You still okay? You have Michigan, and then that'd be Michigan playing Ohio State in back-to-back weeks. Also,
Correct.
congrats to Minnesota, who's 6-2 and officially bowl eligible.
Oh, wow. Did not see that coming.
No, we really didn't. All right, then you go down to the wonders of the Conference USA. Honestly, I don't feel like I need to pick like an overall like all these things. There's no team that's super strong right now because they kind of got mauled by the AAC Los Angeles teams. But East Carolina looks strong at 3-1 in conference and 5-2 overall. Tulane also 4-0 in conference, 6-2 overall. I believe that Tulane will meet East Carolina in the championship game, with Tulane pulling out the victory. Let's go Green Wave. Go, go, go. The Independents are in a conference, so I don't have to talk about them, although there are already 2 bowl-eligible teams in Notre Dame and BYU. I should note that Navy is 4-3 and is going to have a very interesting time making a bowl, and Idaho and New Mexico State are both out of bowl contention. Then you got the MAC. MACtion, here we come. Buffalo is 4-0 and 6-2 overall. Shocking. Buffalo had been a bottom feeder. It is now looking pretty strong. Although I should note they're in the East. The East has 7 teams. 4 of them are already out of bowl contention. Then you have Bowling Green, who is 5-3. Ohio, who's 6-2, and Buffalo, who's 6-2. Here's the thing, though. The West is the interesting one. You have 8-1 Ball State and 8-0 Northern Illinois. That's a good matchup. That's an underrated matchup that's going to happen in the West. I think Jordan Lynch pulls it out. I think that Northern Illinois team is going to be undefeated and win the match.
I think that Northern Illinois team, let me tell you something, they're going to win a BCS bowl game this year.
Win, not just make.
Win.
But do you think they can? So do you think Fresno State is losing, or do you think Fresno State is making a BCS bowl as well?
I think Fresno State is losing.
So you think they're not making an undefeated run? Oh look, bringing up that, let's look at the Mountain West. In the West Conference, Fresno State is currently 4-0 in conference, and there are 3 one-loss in conference teams: UNLV, San Jose State, and San Diego State behind them. Fresno State, the only team who has already clinched bowl eligibility. Looking at Fresno State, I have made many comments about this Fresno State team, about how much I like them. Truly. Jake has said they will lose. Here's the deal. I don't think they will. I think they beat Nevada, no issue. Wyoming, no issue. New Mexico is not going to be a problem. They got San Jose State on November 29th. That game worried me just a little bit. But I think they can pull off. So here's Fresno State's not losing. And the reason why is the remaining schedule is just not difficult. They're not going to lose to Nevada. They're not going to lose to Wyoming, New Mexico, or San Jose State. The only way they lose is if they make it to the Mountain West Championship game. And they lose to... Alright, here's the deal with Mountain West in the Mountain Division. They got Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State, all with 1 loss. I see a very tight competition between Utah State and Boise State here, but probably Boise State winning this division. Boise State has already lost to Fresno State, but in a close one. Well, this game would be at Fresno State. I see Fresno State winning this again. I think they're undefeated.
No, I don't know. I think San Jose State could be an easy trap game, and I think that they could easily lose to Colorado State or Utah State.
Interesting points. Alright, moving on to... Alright, here's the deal. There's the Pac-12, SEC, and Sun Belt left. I'm going to get the Sun Belt out of the way, just so we can. Louisiana Lafayette is 3-0 in conference.
Yes,
Monroe is 3-1.
The Raging Cajuns again in bowl contention.
They're 5-2. Louisiana Lafayette is going to make a bowl. Go Raging Cajuns. That's what I'm going to say.
Love Raging Cajuns.
We do. It's true. Raging Cajuns, who are one of our favorite mascots. That, the Green Wave, the Mean Green, and of course, you know who our favorite mascot is, right?
Big Red.
Of Western Kentucky. He's our
Puts
favorite.
the mass in mascot.
That was a good one. I hadn't heard that one yet. Yeah. So Pac-12 and SEC. Pac-12, we have Oregon has no losses in conference. Stanford and Oregon State both have one. Those are the three teams in the North that can really win it. I still see Oregon going undefeated and going to the national championship game. Therefore, I don't see them losing any of these games and winning the North. Is your opinion different?
Mine is actually Corvallis, Oregon is a wonderful place. Normally a calm place. But you know what? I think that the Beavers are going to damn the Oregon Ducks. Oh, that was so good. And you know who else is good? Sean Mannion. And I think Mannion's going to have the hustle and the heart to pull it through.
You know who else is good? Oregon's secondary.
You know what? I don't care if you want to go out with the catwalk, with your fashion show, and molly your jerseys out there. Oregon State's winning this game. They have gone through too much disappointment.
I should note though, this is saying you think Oregon State is going to end up winning the Pac-12 North. Is this what I'm getting out of this? Because then Stanford would have 2 losses and Oregon State would take them out on tiebreaker. Are you saying that Oregon State is going to win the Pac-12 North?
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. There has to be a way out of this.
Alright, here's the way. There's only one way out of this. Oregon State would have to lose another game. And
those games are...
they have Arizona State. They're going to beat Arizona State. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Arizona State, they'll win. Washington, your only hope is that they lose to Washington.
Really? Because they're losing to USC right now, 24-14, with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, that was surprising.
I know what I'm talking about here. But Washington, that's the game they lose. They lose to Washington. They find the heart to come back. Big teams in
So you think then they beat Oregon? Oregon goes to the Pac-12 championship game and faces a team from the South. The South is more interesting than you think it is. You want to know why it's more interesting than you think it is?
UCLA lost back-to-back, including a game against Oregon, who will lose to Oregon State. We have been over this call.
Yes, but UCLA is 2-2 in conference. USC is 2-2 in conference. Arizona is 2-2 in conference, and Arizona State is 4-1.
Wow,
Arizona State has only 1 loss. Basically, the Pac-12 South could come down to November 23rd. That's going to be the day the Pac-12 South probably comes down to.
Yeah, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you forget they got the bad year here when they're playing Oregon and Stanford.
Yeah,
scheduling is
back to back and both on the road.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad scheduling for you guys. All right, now we go to the fun. Oh, actually, I should note. You think UCLA Oregon make championship game? Who do you have in the Pac-12 championship game?
Oregon.
Good. I have them too, and I think UCLA will pull out the South. I just think so. We both agree that Oregon beats UCLA in the Pac-12 championship game. We just disagree on how many losses Oregon has.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me if Oregon loses to Oregon State,
and Oregon State has no other losses, and Oregon has beaten Stanford.
Oh, that's tough, because I saw Stanford coming out of this one.
Do you have Stanford beating Oregon?
No. Oh, yeah, what am I saying? No. Oregon, UCLA, Oregon wins.
There we go. But we just disagree if Oregon has 1 or no losses.
Yeah, but really it's not that hard.
Alright, here we go. To the SEC. We're going to talk really in depth about Oregon Stanford next week. So, just wait for that. I'm thinking I may have a show just devoted to Baylor and Oregon. It should be fun. Yeah. So, and if you need updates on when we're going to have shows, go to College Football on Air's Facebook page. We update this stuff.
Now, the Rookies Roundup also updates their Facebook page.
Wow, Jake, way to advertise. Now we go to the very interesting conference that is nothing that we thought we would see. In the SEC, Missouri previously had a 2-game lead in the SEC East. Now their lead is down to 1. They've got South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia all on their heels with 2 losses apiece. But Missouri does hold that game. They've got Tennessee this week. We all think they're going to win that. Kentucky, probably. Ole Miss, probably. But then they've got a game against Texas A&M in the last game of the season that could be a loss. I think that Missouri wins out the rest of this and takes the East. Your thoughts?
The SEC has never been easy to predict. I think Alabama will lose to Auburn, but I do think Alabama will still win this entire conference.
I said East. I want divisions.
Wait, we're doing this division by division?
Yes. Did you miss the first 7 conferences?
I'm sorry, you know what? Well, listen here. Wait, can you blame me for thinking that Alabama is on the East?
No, I got no issue with Alabama. Alabama's going to win the West.
They're in the West.
Yes. Alabama's in the West. Missouri's in the East. No, Florida's in the East. Alabama's in the West. It's SEC geography. Yeah, think about that. For any of you out there, go look at a map. And then tell me this isn't funny.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Alright, I know, Alabama belongs in the West. It just has to be the West, right?
Yeah, no, Alabama. Yeah, never mind, not Alabama. Sorry, Missouri is in the East. And such.
You could have made that so much more clear, child.
I could have. Sorry, that was my mistake. Alright, Alabama, you think they lose to Auburn? Did you? I hear you correctly.
Correct.
Do you think Auburn loses to... But here's the deal. If Auburn meets them, then they hold tiebreaker. But they also have a game against Georgia, Tennessee, and Arkansas. I'm assuming you will think they're going to lose one of those games.
Yes.
Is that the Georgia game?
That is going to be the Georgia game and the Tennessee game.
You think they lose both of those games?
Yes.
Okay. That is an interesting point. We're not going to talk about every game in the college football season, because that's kind of what we started to do. We're almost done with this show. It's been a whole 37.5 minutes. Normally these shows go so long. I kind of apologize for it. Nobody really needs to listen to us for 2 hours. I think the idea I've had is pretty brilliant, keeping these short, kind of short. Because if you're busy and randomly doing stuff, you can listen to this. It's wonderful. You think that... I think Alabama's going undefeated anyway and making championship game.
If Alabama makes the championship game, they're not losing.
Yeah, I know. I think Alabama wins out, goes to national championship game, and plays Oregon. I'm not going to talk about that game because we're not talking about that.
No, wait. You just said that you agree with me that if Alabama makes the
No, I said if they make the SEC championship game, they win.
If Alabama plays Oregon in the national championship game, who wins?
Oregon. Oregon beats Alabama. We're not arguing this. I should note, breaking news. This is just a rumor. There is a chance I may be with Jake right before the BCS Bowl.
Maybe.
It's a question. It's questionable. We're not exactly sure. But if I am, we are going to have a great debate, and you won't have to deal with sound from 2 computers. Alright, I'm just going to do something just so Jake doesn't have to. The Lakers are up 3 on the San Antonio Spurs.
Wait, that's it? What?
Just kidding. They're up 7. ESPN hadn't loaded yet. Oh,
no.
Wait, no. See, ESPN's being very slow now.
They're up 4, but according...
They're up 4 with 4 minutes left in the second.
They were up 17 last I checked. Guys, this is how much I like this show. And I think Carl's wrong, because you guys should listen, because this is actually a great show. You can do fast forward for whatever you want. I mean, it's a great show. I am so dedicated that I still, by the way, have not watched my favorite TV show, and I'm missing the Lakers-Spurs game. The Lakers-Spurs, we're winning against the Spurs. I don't think some of you out there...
You're only winning by 2 now.
...the situation.
You're winning by 2 now. I should note, shout out to the Trailblazers. They beat Denver by 15.
CJ McCollum, I love you.
He's out right now with a foot injury. He's out with a foot injury right now. If you didn't know. Whoa! I just got a big shock. I was just sitting on my computer when I decided to go look at the viewership we currently have. We have 20 viewers. Live! This is a first for college football on air. Normally, we do get a certain number of viewers afterwards, up towards 100 at a time, but 20 viewers live. This is incredible. I would like to say to any live viewers, if you have any questions, post them in the comment box.
But if you are real, here's what I need you to do. I want you to go to the College Football on Air Facebook page, and I want you to spell Carl's name with a C and post it there. That's it. Okay?
Also, you can post. Wait, I need a list of things you can post.
For a bonus, you're going to go on Rookies Roundup and like that page too. Then you're going to report back to us and see whose show you like that.
I should note, as other things you can post on the Facebook page. You can post that. You can post, Carl should do a soccer show. That's one we had a while ago.
I'm sorry.
Soccer show? Wow, you're pronouncing well.
Show.
Shout out to the Portland Timbers for winning the Western Conference in MLS.
25 people. 25.
Wow, this show is growing fast.
This is growing fast.
See, I've got a theory on why it's growing fast. Do you want to know why it's growing fast? We happen to be at the same time as the game the game that Chris Sylvester is doing. Chris Sylvester is currently, if you are tuning in to try to see Chris Sylvester broadcasting the Bosco versus Mater Dei game. I'm sorry, I'm not a LA person.
Mater Dei, don't worry. They're not Maitre D. I did that once.
Maitre D, nice. Well, if you guys are listening to us just because you're trying to find that show, keep listening, or come back and listen later. Because we do...
Don't listen later. You do not compromise. Carl has to be hungry. But you know who's hungry? Oregon State. And that's why they're beating Oregon.
Well, we disagree on that. We disagree on a lot of things. We are going on to now our 42nd minute. I like to keep these shows relatively in time. So, I'm going to say we have 3 minutes left. Let's go look at random things.
Alright, well, I got stuff to talk about. I can talk about a bunch of stuff.
Give me a topic. Nothing more, just give me a topic.
Just give you a topic.
Topic. Do 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 do. Do do. Do 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 do.
Oh man, dude, you put me on the spot this time.
I'm sorry.
How about, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, LA football team, go.
LA football team needs to happen. I've said this before on Rookies Roundup. And unlike Jake, I believe that the team from Jacksonville should go there.
Okay, Anchorman 2, go.
It's gonna be hilarious. Have you guys seen the horsepower commercial?
It's fantastic. Best Halloween costume of the sports world this year, go.
This is a weird connection to the sports world, but there's a kid at my school who, he happened to play football. That's the only way I can connect it to him. He wore a sign saying nudist on strike, even though he was fully clothed. Hilarious.
New Pelicans mascot.
It's the Pelicans. Did we expect anything more?
No, it's terrifying.
Yes, but the idea of that team being able to play in the NBA is terrifying. So,
Heat lose back-to-back games.
I don't think there's an issue. Once they get all that Bahamas off them, they'll be fine.
Texas A&M wearing Stars and Stripes helmet for Saturday's military appreciation game.
I think it's a great tribute.
Yeah, it's just too bad because that means we have to associate Johnny Manziel with America, and that's kind of
Alright, we are closing in. We now have 50 seconds left on this episode of College Football on Air. I will close out with a couple remarks. 1, follow me on Twitter at Carl_PM. It's Carl with a K. That's what I have to say about that. Go like College Football on Air on Facebook. Go like Rookies Roundup on Facebook. Go like 50 State Sports Update in the Creek with Carl Mogline on Facebook. Go like National Sports on Facebook. Go like all the other national sports show. And above all, keep tuning in. Keep checking national sports. Check it daily. Check it weekly. I don't care. Come listen to my shows. Go listen to the other people's shows. They all have great opinions. This has been a presentation of College Football on Air on the National Sports Radio Network. I'm Carl Molan along with Jake Liker. Thank you for listening, and good night.